Hi YouTube, it's Kathy. I'm in a cabin in the woods and I actually kind of figured this was a little bit perfect for opening this book box. Now you might look at this and think to yourself, Halloween edition. It's nowhere near Halloween, and you are correct. I actually ordered this from Once Upon a Book Club way before October was supposed to happen, and then one of the items in the box was actually held up in the supply chain, which means they couldn't send this out until quite recently. This actually arrived the day before we came on this vacation, so I kind of figured, if I'm remembering correctly, it being a Halloween edition, I ordered a scary book, and I think it might be one of those kind of trapped in isolation type of books. I could be completely wrong, but if so, that is actually perfect for the fact that we are currently in the middle of basically nowhere. So I figured I'd bring you along to this very isolated location where we don't have any cell service, we don't have any internet, there's no TV, it's just us and books and the ocean, so if you hear weird noises, it's probably the ocean outside. And let's use the cabin key to open this, shall we? Because there's no knives in here. Which, now that I think about it, with the creepiness of this box, it's maybe a good thing. Now, if you've never heard of this book box before, what makes it interesting is it comes with a bunch of different goodies, which yes, other book boxes do. However, you're not meant to open the goodies until you get to certain parts of the book. So let me just unpack this. I'll show everything off, but I'm not going to show you what the items are until I get to those points in the book. So for instance, there's this big fabric bag that I can't open until I get to 314. There's this very heavy and pretty box that I can't open until page 83. Another one that I can't open till page 89. And this art print that says, "With no one else to haunt, I am haunting myself," by Darcy Coates. That leads into exactly what the book is, which is The Haunting of Lee Parker by Darcy Coates. Now, I haven't read anything by this author, however, Mers over at Harpy and the Trees has read a bunch by this author because I've watched a bunch of her videos talking about this author's books, and they've always seemed really good, so I'm excited about this. And I think we all know that I hate reading synopses, so I think future me will read the synopses for you because I don't want to read it before actually starting the book. All I know is this is a 2021 release and the blurb on the back says it's scary, atmospheric, and definitely one to read in daylight. So I'm going to read a bunch of it while I'm in the cabin in the woods in the dark, because why not? But I'm going to start it in daylight at least. They also remind you when to open your gifts, so there's little tabs, say on page 83, that say it's time to open the gift. And they usually have something to do with what's going on in the book at the time. So as I go through this book, I'll let you know what I'm thinking about it, and I will open the gifts at the appropriate time. I'll also show you around, because this place is kind of cool.
Lee Harker's quiet suburban home was her sanctuary for more than a decade, until things abruptly changed. Curtains open by themselves, radios turn off and on, and a dark figure looms in the shadows of her bedroom door at night, watching her, waiting for her to finally let her guard down enough to fall asleep. Pushed to her limits but unwilling to abandon her home, Lee struggles to find answers, but each step forces her towards something more terrifying than she ever imagined. A poisonous shadow seeps from the locked door beneath the stairs. The handle rattles through the night, and fingernails scratch at the wood. Her home harbors dangerous secrets, and now Lee is trapped within its walls. She fears she may never escape. Do you think you're safe? You're wrong.
Chad let me know that there are knives here. They were just in a butcher block and not in a drawer like I thought they might be. So we have made it to page 83 where it has told me to open up a gift, and that's what I'm gonna do. I suppose I should tell you a little bit about the book before I actually open this box. Basically, we start off with this woman waking up and realizing there's something in her house, and it's been plaguing her ever since. She called the cops at one point and they were just kind of like, this is a low crime neighborhood, and they didn't really seem to believe her. She doesn't really have any friends around. She has a sister. They don't really talk. She's been leaving her voicemails being like, I wish we talked more, but not actually saying anything like, I think something creepy is in my house. And yeah, we're in the midst of another one of those so-called attacks, so it'll be interesting to see what's in the box. Yeah, I actually kind of called this. So one of the things she's doing right now is just putting salt around her house, because she's like, maybe that will make whatever this weird thing is that's attacking my house go away. And that just makes me think Hocus Pocus, so I thought that there was a potential that we'd have some Himalaya rock salt in here, and we do. This is also really well timed because I'm having a bath later, and these are bath salts, so perfect. We're only a few pages later, but it is time to open the second gift, so I will slice that open and be right back. As before, I have an idea, but let's find out together. Yep, that makes sense. She's been seeing a lot of candles recently because there's a power outage and there's something weird going on, but I enjoy that this one looks like it is bleeding. That's fun. Hi, it's the next day. I'm still reading. About 100 pages into this book, it took a left turn that I didn't see coming and I very much enjoyed. And I've almost gotten to the point of the last item from the box. However, when you get to page 300 or so, there's also this card inserted in there, which I noticed before, but I was like, I'm not gonna look at it until I get to the page. It's right here. On one side, it looks like a radio. On the other side, it has a quote from this page and then listen if you dare. I would dare, however, not only does my phone not read QR codes, but I don't have internet access, so I can't listen to whatever this is, but I think I'm gonna try to do it when I get back to reality.
That's YouTube. You want to send you a link to the YouTube?
Yes. And we've come to the last marker in the book. I've had an idea for a while what this might be, just based on the fact that it is very soft and also some of the hobbies that the person in this book have. But let me open it up and find out for sure. I was right. Our protagonist has this quilt that she talks about quite often that has to do with Aesop's fables, and we got something similar. Basically, this is big enough to be like a lap blanket when you're sitting in your chair, like watching Netflix or reading a book or something like that, and it's pretty soft and cozy, so I'm into it. In fact, my legs have been slightly chilly while I've been sitting here reading, so I'm going to wear it while I finish the book. I think I've got like 20 pages left. And with that, I'm done. I found that thoroughly enjoyable, and I will definitely be trying to pick up more Darcy Coates in the future because I really enjoyed that horror book. As I probably forgot to mention before, I do have a code for Once Upon a Book Club. If you want to try it out, you get a discount if you use my code. That is always listed down below in my videos, also on my Instagram. And yeah, this is just a fun adventure to kind of get things that are picked out based on the book you're reading. It's just kind of cool. How about you? Do you have a horror or spooky book you'd like to recommend to me? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link is down below, as well as the link to my PayPal and my Amazon wishlist in case you would like to buy me a book. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye.